the transfer portal has closed up shop. Still a few names that are out there. We'll talk about them as we progress throughout the rest of this spring and those players end up committing. But the winter cycle, for the most part, is where you really make your strides, where you can turn over your roster, go get all these high-value guys, and change your win total in Vegas from one to the other. The spring portal cycle, it's a little bit more of what I would call a mortal cycle. Not all these Super Saiyans running around, not a bunch of just all-American guys, just in the portal up there for the taking. The spring portal cycle is more so, can you get some spare tires? Can you build some depth? Well, a couple of these teams, by nature of the pieces they got, they didn't just go get spare tires. They went out and actually souped up the engine. Like, I think you look at a couple of these additions we're about to mention right now, these portal additions, to me, will give these teams a higher ceiling because of the potential impact they have, changing the game. True to the lower third you're seeing there if you're watching live on YouTube. But let's go to Penn State for this first edition. Hand up, I thought Trevor Pena would see Miami as a potential destination, see Xavier Restrepo and what he did there a year ago and say, yeah, I can make that work. But I have to think, I like to imagine Drew Aller's reaction when he saw the On3 Twitter graphic of Trevor Pena committing to Penn State. I think he probably just fell to his knees, man. He said, the devil is a lie. Okay, hey, they counted me out. We have my receivers doing 4 quarters of cardio in the Orange Bowl. Tyler Warren goes to the league, but God said no. Trevor Pena headed to Happy Valley. That's huge because it just gives you someone that's reliable in the slot. Like someone who can be a high-volume guy, had north of 80 catches last year at Syracuse, real production. Not just traits. Traits are nice. I love traits, but like real production now in that receiver room with the Trevor Pena. Instantly, to me, he becomes your number one guy, and instantly you have someone, if you're Drew Aller, that you can actually force feed the football to and have a high impact on the actual game itself. So Trevor Pena to Penn State, this is one to me that could be a put you over the top kind of move for that offense in Happy Valley because they've been begging for a big-time receiver. Trevor Pena could maybe play his way into that from where I'm standing. Oklahoma, we talked about it when it happened. Cal running back, Jaydn Ott, had a lot of production the year before. A little bit dinged up this past season, but he's going to now be playing his college football in Norman. The way I look at this, the math just got harder defending Oklahoma. Because you think about John Mateer, okay, yeah, does some stuff downfield, obviously, plus we can do with his legs. Javonte Gibson, when he gets healthy, he's a tremendous threat for them. All spring long he was, at least until he got dinged up. Deion Burks, when he's healthy, he's a dog for you. You go down the list here, you're like, man, there's a lot of dudes to defend here in the pass game themselves, plus John Mateer with his legs. Now you add in a guy like Jaydn Ott and all his production he had at Cal a year ago, plus you could throw him the football. The math is tough. The to-do list to defend Oklahoma as an offense just keeps on getting longer to the point where if you're a defense, like I don't know how you check all the boxes. And at least I don't know how you check all the boxes consistently, at least. So in terms of how dynamic they can be, no further questions, Your Honor. No, I mean, they are going to have all the playmakers to get it done in Ben Arbuckle's offense. The question then becomes, are you able to scheme around, or is your offensive line good enough to maximize those playmakers? But Jaydn Ott, giving them someone who's like a real deal dude in that running back room, no further questions about what the Oklahoma offense can be. And you already knew we were high on them in 2025 to begin with John Mateer on the show. Now, Bo Atkinson is an edge defender transferring from North Carolina to Ohio State. And in the transfer portal, in general, like getting trench players, offensive line, defensive line, it's kind of like Chick-fil-A sauce. Can never have too much of it. Like you're never saying, no, actually only grab 3 Chick-fil-A sauce. You say, give me as many Chick-fil-A sauces as you possibly can because we're going to find some use for it. Whether it lives in the fridge, whether I put it on the sandwich, we're going to find some use for it. That's Bo Atkinson in this defense for Ohio State. Yeah, you got C.J. Hicks. You got Sonny Styles. You got another edge who's got multiple, he's got real, again, proven production from North Carolina. A dude who's a freak show off the edge, high motor guy. You go look at his highlights. He's out here sacking Virginia's quarterback while being blocked with one arm and bringing the quarterback down with the other. Like, yeah, we can use that. We can use more push up front on the defensive side. So I love what he brings to the table there. Also, it's worth noting, this is kind of how you win in modern college football or just in football in general, right? Like when Ohio State came alive last year in the college football playoff, yeah, Will Howard found his groove. Yeah, we all realized Jeremiah Smith was probably developed in a lab and he started playing like it in that playoff race and they started feeding him the football. But what really flipped the switch for Ohio State was you had Jack Sawyer JT Tuimoloau, and that front seven start eating greedy. So you pair Bo Atkinson with the CJ Hicks, I think that front seven is going to be once again in a good spot. And you help out that front seven, that secondary is going to be able to hold it down, more than likely. So Ohio State, the rich getting richer. Larry Johnson has another piece on the edge for his defense. Steve Angeli headed to Syracuse. All right, now, kind of like the Breaking Bad meme for those of y'all that have seen it, Jesse Pinkman. He can't keep getting away with this. Fran Brown cannot keep getting away with this. Goes and gets another quarterback who couldn't cut it at his other school, probably has got some revenge on his mind. Y'all, Steve Angeli is a good football player. And that's not me telling you that because I've gone to blueandgold.com and I've, read the practice reports and read how Steve Angeli was, at one point in time trending to start for Notre Dame. Like, you can actually go watch real college football games. Like, Steve Angeli walks in the Sun Bowl and gets buckets a year ago with Sam Hartman on the sideline. Steve Angeli walks in and saves Notre Dame's season against Penn State with that drive in the Orange Bowl. Like, Steve Angeli can play football. Now, it didn't work out at Notre Dame. Doesn't mean Steve Angeli can't still sling it. It's also worth noting Fran Brown, when we had him on the show and just different interviews he's done throughout the course of his time at Syracuse, he'll let you know, if he's taking a portal quarterback, he's done his homework. He's not just taking a flyer on Steve Angeli because he thinks he can maybe play and bring something out of him. He's like, no, I like the way Steve Angeli's wired. I like what he can do for us in our system. This is not some random move by Fran Brown. He went and calculated, got Steve Angeli, and I think that's worth noting. So Steve Angeli to Syracuse, Fran Brown may have his Kyle McCord 2.0 here in 2025. Now, one more player I want to mention, and this is probably up there with Jaydn Ott for me, of the most impactful get of this entire portal cycle. Keelan Marion, transferring from BYU to Miami. Keelan Marion is an All-American return specialist and pretty much a do-whatever-you-want him to do in the offense kind of player. Listed as a receiver, could get him the ball on jet sweeps, put him out wide, put him in the slot. This is a classic got-what-you-need kind of addition for Shannon Dawson in that offense under Mario Cristobal. What do you need? Proven production, experience, explosiveness. That is Keelan Marion. That is what he brings to the table. You feel good about Malachi Toney. You feel good about JoJo Trader. You feel good about CJ Daniels probably. But to get a guy who's going now in his 5th year of college football, I love the way that he helps the offense with his skill set. I also love the way that you just add an OG to that receiver room. Like, he's going to, I have to imagine now, have the ability to get after practice with Malachi Toney and say, hey, young buck, this is how we practice. This is what we do when it comes to watching film. This is what we do on the jugs machine. This is what we do when it comes to getting right before practice. All those things. I love that veteran presence for that room, and I've said many times now, I love the juice it brings to that offense because I think right away you got some real pop there. Some real pop, and Keelan Marion on a safety. 11 times out of 10 is a win for Keelan Marion. 11 times out of 10, a win for Miami. And a win for Miami in the pass game would obviously equate to a big win for Carson Beck and what he could be for them in 2025. So the portal, again, still sort of finding its resting place, but it is closed when it comes to names being entered in there. But those are the big additions that I think could actually soup up some of those teams when it comes to their win total, and will definitely change, I think, what they can be here in 2025, at least from a potential perspective.